hazy, hot, and humid Wednesday evening, it is time for baseball as Kia presents the Wednesday game of the week. Tonight, it's the New York Yankees against the Kansas City Royals in Game 3 of a 4-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball. Along with John Flaherty, I'm Michael Kay. First 2 games of this series not good for the Yankees. They've lost both, and the Kansas City Royals have used the long ball to their advantage, especially Billy Butler.
Yeah, Billy Butler has not had a big year in the home run department, but that is changing during this series here in New York. Monday night, a solo shot the other way, his 7th of the year. That got Kansas City on the board, and they picked up a victory in Game 1. Last night, the big blow against Sabathia, a solo shot to left field. His 8th home run of the year, that gave the Royals a 2-1 lead. They would hold on to pick up the second game of the series.
And the Yankees just can't score runs, John, which leads us to the cold hard facts brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. 3-game losing streak. In each of those games, the Yankees have scored just 1 run, a batting average of .216, 1 extra base hit, 3 for 18 with runners in scoring position. They've left 22 men on base, and the only extra base hit in that 3-game losing streak, Lyle Overbay's pinch hit solo home run. Let's look at tonight's New York Lottery pitching matchup. Wade Davis is going to go for the Royals and Ivan Nova for the Yankees. And John, since Nova got called up from the minors, he's been a different pitcher.
Well, he seems to be a lot more aggressive, using his fastball to get ahead in the count. The curveball has been outstanding, his best pitch. But when you look at some of the highlights of his last outing against Baltimore, a complete game. First time he's done that in his career. 11 strikeouts. He was dominant. The Yankees, a come-from-behind win in the bottom of the 9th. He's looking to build on that start here tonight against Kansas City.
Okay, where were you 30 years ago this month? George Brett knows where he was. He's back here in the Bronx. A dramatic moment in baseball history, and George Brett will talk about it next. Anniversary of the Pine Tar game, July 24th, 1983. Brett hits a home run off of Goose Gossage that gives the Royals the lead. The Yankees and Billy Martin said, why don't you check that bat for Pine Tar? The Pine Tar was a little bit high. Tim McClellan said, you're out. And then George Brett was out of his mind. He talked about it yesterday and said that moment still lives with him to this day.
Pretty much every time I play golf, they always want to check my clubs for Pine Tar. If I'm playing with strangers or in a pro-am or some type of a celebrity tournament, it's the gallery every hole basically brings it up. It's kind of funny the first couple of holes, but after a while it gets old.
Well, he has certainly embraced it and made the most of it, and he's had a Hall of Fame career. Ivan Nova will take the mound for the Yankees tonight. When we come back, lineups, first pitch, baseball next on Yes. 2014 Mitsubishi Outlander. Visit MitsubishiCars.com/2014 Outlander. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit Geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. And by Chrysler, imported from Detroit. Well, the Yankees have taken the field. They're trying to snap their 3-game losing streak. They've lost the first 2 of this 4-game set against the Kansas City Royals. Let's take a look at the Royals starting lineup. That's going to face Ivan Nova. Alex Gordon in left field will lead off. Batting second and playing shortstop, Alcides Escobar. Eric Hosmer at first base. He'll hit third. Cleaning up the DH, Billy Butler. Mike Moustakas, the third baseman, bats fifth. Batting sixth, playing center field, Lorenzo Cain. David Lowe's in right field, he'll bat seventh. Johnny Giavotella is the second baseman, he'll bat eighth. And batting ninth and catching, George Kataris.
Well, Ned Yost sends out that lineup against Ivan Nova. Royals have won the first 2 games of this series. We'll look at the numbers for Nova, and they are continuing to get better and better after each appearance. Be his 10th game, his 7th start, 3-2 record, ERA just over 4. We'll check out our pitcher scouting report, which is brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. Last time out, pretty much as good as it gets. A complete game, first time he's done that, on 102 pitches with 11 strikeouts. Big reason why, a nasty curveball since he's come back from the minor leagues, and that .689, that's a winning percentage, and it's the highest winning percentage for any starter with 50 games.
All right, so Alex Gordon is ready. Ivan Nova is ready. And let's do it here in the Bronx. The first pitch is outside, and we're underway. Paul Nauert is the home plate umpire. Count 2-0.
Ivan Nova picked up the win his last time out against Baltimore in that complete game I was talking about. Vernon Wells, the big hit in the bottom of the ninth.
Count 2-2.
We talked about it in the open a little bit, Michael. And you watch Ivan Nova and his body language since he has come back from the minor league seems to be more aggressive. Give him credit. Went down to AAA, threw the ball fantastic, an ERA just over 2. He's got his opportunities out of the bullpen, now back in the rotation, and he's taking advantage of it.
2-2. Swing and a miss. 1 away. Let's take a look at the Yankee defense behind Nova. It's Almonte, Gardner, and Ichiro left to right. In the infield, Cruz, Nunez, Canó, and Overbay, third to first. The veteran Chris Stewart behind the plate, and Nova is on the mound.
11 strikeouts his last outing. Nova picks up a strikeout to lead off the game, and again on that good curveball. It's been much, much better and more consistent since he's come back.
95-mile-an-hour fastball.
We take a look at our Jeep hitter scouting report on Escobar. 13 consecutive road games that he has gotten a hit and 12 straight stolen bases. He's 12 for 12. And in 2015, he is signed through 2015. So the Royals locking up a good young shortstop.
Swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts for Nova.
Getting ahead in the count, not wasting any time, going to that big breaking ball down and away. We've seen just a lot of these swings and misses the last couple of starts on this pitch. Way out in front, Escobar.
Here's Hosmer. Laid on the fastball, fouled it away.
Scare some people in his own dugout right there. It's rifled one off of the fencing. It's like Bruce Chen. Ned Yost awfully relaxed. Team has taken the first 2 games of this series.
Yankees baseball available in Spanish by hitting the SAP button on your television. SAP is brought to you by Infinity. Miguel Tejada enjoying the festivities. Lined into left field. It's a base hit in front of Almonte. So Hosmer with a single.
Hosmer had a few hits in the first game of this series.
Here's Billy Butler. Now he has 8 home runs, and it shows you he's hit some important ones because 6 of his 8 home runs have given the Royals a lead. Pitch is high.
Billy Butler 4 for 6 lifetime against Nova, and career numbers at Yankee Stadium outstanding, 340. They always say the solo home runs will not beat you, but last night that solo shot by Butler gave the Royals a 2-1 lead. They were able to add on and win that game 3-1. Yankees just having trouble scoring runs. Puts an awful lot of pressure on a pitching staff and a starting pitcher knowing your offense is struggling. There's no room to make a mistake. You scored 1 run in your last 3 games. Can't forget about Hosmer over there at first baseman, but he has stolen 7 bags this year, has been thrown out 3 times.
Lined into center field. It is a base hit in front of Gardner. He comes up throwing into third as Hosmer will stay put at second. First and second, 2 outs.
The Royals doing a good job extending this inning. Ron Nova back-to-back strikeouts to lead off the game. Now back-to-back base hits. And all of a sudden that curveball that was so good the first 2 batters has been rolling a little bit to the last 2. You see on Yes Mo, brought to you by your Mercedes Tri-State dealer. Good look at the extension for Billy Butler, and the batting average at Yankee Stadium gets a little bit better.
Here's Mike Moustakas. There's a strike. With the fastball to even the count at 1-1.
Good pitch right there, up and in. You get a left-handed hitter thinking about your fastball. I mentioned how good the curveball is. You can't just keep throwing it pitch after pitch. You change the thought of the left-handed hitter with a good fastball up and in.
Two and one.
The feeling already in the first inning with 2 outs, runner in scoring position. Big spot already in the game, knowing that the Yankees have been struggling to score runs. Got to get this last out if you're Ron Nova.
Ground ball to Overbay, who flips to Nova, who gets out of trouble. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 men left on base. Royals nothing. The New York Yankees coming to bat. Let's take a look at tonight's Yankees starting lineup, presented by Lexus. Brett Gardner in center field will lead off, batting second and playing right field, Ichiro Suzuki. Robinson Canó at second base will hit third, cleaning up the DH, Travis Happen. Zoilo Almonte in left field will bat fifth, batting sixth, playing first base, Lyle Overbay. Eduardo Nunez, the shortstop, will bat seventh. The number 8 hitter is at third baseman, Luis Cruz. Chris Stewart will catch. He's going to bat ninth.
Well, the Yankees are going to get a look at Wade Davis in the rotation now for the Kansas City Royals. Look at his numbers on the year. His 18 start, 4-7. The ERA inflated at 5.42. Check out our pitcher scouting report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. Kind of struggling with that transition from the pen last year with Tampa now to the rotation. 189 batting average as a reliever, 322 against as a starter. And that 6.81 road ERA is highest in the major leagues. And with all that, he was better his last time out against the A's. 7 innings, 8 strikeouts, 3 earned runs.
Gardner led off the game yesterday with a bunt single. Takes a pitch outside. Gardner had 2 hits and 4 bats. Came into the game in an 0 for 16 slip. The difference between relieving and starting last year with the Tampa Bay Rays, the average velocity on Wade Davis's fastball was 93.4 miles per hour. This year, 91.6. So sometimes pitchers pace themselves, or they just don't have the strength to throw that hard all the time. And that's what always, to me, makes Verlander so amazing, because he saves something and actually throws harder as the game moves along.
Well, I talked to Dave Ireland, the pitching coach, about that transition, Michael, and he said Davis was what you were talking about, saving a little bit, kind of pitching in the lower 90s, kind of trying to get through an order a few times. There's a look at Dave Ireland. And the last time out against the Oakland A's, he said, listen, you got to bring that reliever mentality out to the mound in the first inning. And he was throwing harder, about 94, 95, and had a much better outing.
Count is full.
Davis will also throw a curveball, changeup, and a cutter. Kansas City trying to get him to throw his fastball a little bit more and really pound the strike zone early in counts.
And Gardner works a walk. Check out the Royals' defense behind Davis, who will not work out of the stretch. Gordon, Kane, and Lowe left to right in the outfield. Infield, it's Moustakas, Escobar, Giavotella, Hosmer. That's third to first. Gutierrez behind the plate. Davis is on the mound.
Michael, you talked about in the open the Yankees not hitting extra base hits lately. A lot of singles. It's a premium on Brett Gardner. Steal a bag here in the first inning. Get yourself in the scoring position. Only has 11 on the year. Make something happen here in the first inning. Be aggressive on the bases.
Now, we don't want to flood you with stats here, but this is so significant to what's happening with this Yankee team. You see how Ichiro is hit against Davis. The extra base hit by Lyle Overbay, a pinch hit home run, the only one in 4 games. First time since 1984 that the Yankees have done that, just one extra base hit. And it's the first time since September of 1976 that Yankee starters have gone 4 straight games without an extra base hit. I mean, you're talking historic levels. Grounded in the hole, a base hit for Ichiro.
Well, the Yankees have something going here. It just slaps it the other way. Ichiro does, right in that 5.5 hole between third and short. Another single that you're talking about, Michael, but the Yankees will take it. Set up here in the first inning. First and second, nobody out. Everybody in that lineup knows the Yankees have been struggling offensively. Robinson Canó walks up to the plate as your best hitter. He's feeling a lot of responsibility here to get a big hit in the first inning, relieve some of that pressure of not being able to score a whole lot of runs in this series.
Canó is the last Yankees starter to hit a home run, and that was a week ago yesterday. He's been good in these situations of late with runners in scoring position. No. 2-0.
Very similar to last night. The Yankees had bases loaded and one out and were only able to cash in one run in that ball game. Really didn't have too many opportunities after that against Shields. They had 4 hits in the first inning yesterday, only 2 hits the rest of the game.
.94-mile-an-hour fastball right there, 2-1.
And more importantly, located perfectly. You see Robinson Cano shaking his head a little bit, questioning that call. But he dots the outside corner. Torres brings the glove back a little bit, probably off the plate.
Three and one.
Here you go. Davis throwing his fastball more. A 3-1 count with Hafner on deck. Robinson Cano, the best hitter in your lineup, should get a very good pitch to hit hard here.
Another good pitch. Dialed it up to 95 and a good spot again.
You have to be honest, Davis has watched the last 2 ball games. The Yankees struggling offensively. He comes right in there and pours a fastball in the outer half to Robinson Cano. It's got to give you some confidence when you've seen the other pitchers on your staff have a couple of good games against the Yankees.
Start the runners, John?
You know, Robinson can get aggressive out of the zone. I'd probably hold him. I think if Joe Girardi saw a couple of good swings from Robinson Cano, maybe would change that. We'll see.
Runners go. Grounded to second. They take the out at first. Runners move up. Not sure that sending the runners did anything there, John. I don't think that's a double play ball.
I don't think it's a double play ball. You give Davis a little credit, though. Went breaking ball, curveball for a strike, and gets the ground ball out. It's worry the way things have been going with the Yankees. Swing and a miss, strike him out, throw him out. You run yourself out of an inning. But Robinson Cano puts the ball in play.
All right, the infield's back. They'll give up a run on a ground ball. Hafner has really struggled of late. 1 hit in 17 at bats. He said his timing is off. There's nothing to do with his shoulder. Shoulder feels fine. He feels good physically. Just hasn't been able to get it done. Strike.
His job a lot easier here with second and third, 1 out, and the infield back, like you mentioned. And they're in the numbers in April and since 178 and 50 games since then. I'm sure Travis feeling a little bit of pressure as well here. You got to get the job done. At least the ground ball to the middle of the field. Situational hitting has to be there when the power's not.
That one squeaks through the catcher. Runner comes home, and the throw gets past Wade Davis. Here comes Ichiro. He's coming home. He is out. Great block of the plate there by Kataris, and Ichiro could not get to the dish. But the Yankees have a 1-0 lead on the wild pitch.
tell you, this is aggressive base running all the way around, even from Brett Gardner. This ball does not scoot away that far, but they're struggling. He takes a chance and it works out. Hosmer comes in. He's going to give the flip to the catcher. Guitars gets back in there to block Ichiro. Even though he's out, that's a great block of the plate right there. Even though he's out, I don't hate that play, Michael. You know, the way they've been struggling so much. Hosmer a little bit late backing up. He's able to regroup, and a great block of the plate from the catcher for the Kansas City Royals. Just drops his left knee down there. Just stops Ichiro in his tracks.
They scored a pass ball, allowing the run to score.
Like a curveball in the dirt, right?
Mm-hmm.
I always felt like if there was a breaking ball in the dirt and I didn't block it, it would be a wild pitch. If it was a fastball that didn't hit dirt or any other pitch, then it would be my fault behind the plate, a pass ball.
Well, the Yankees certainly love this stat, and it seems to hold fruit. When they score first, they usually win. They're 32-9 when they score first. That one is popped up, left field. Gordon is there. Remember, they scored first yesterday. They could not hold on. Here's the first run that scored as Gardner comes in head first on the pass ball, giving the Yankees a 1-0 lead. Involving James Shields and Will Myers. And why? NY Yankees 24/7, pretty close. Myers could be very good. Pitchers are still important. And Royals got two pretty good players. I call this too soon to judge. I would agree.
Totally agree with Yankees 24/7 there.
Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag Yankees Prius to keep the conversation going. They changed that call to a wild pitch, so to keep the score at home. Take the pass ball away from Kataris.
Well, a nice decision by Howie Carpin there.
Here's Lorenzo Cain. Count 1-0.
Lorenzo Cain all over the field last night, playing center field, running from gap to gap. A couple of highlight reel catches. Saw James Shields had some appreciation, some of his post-game comments about the plays that Cain made out there, and he gets another start tonight.
Oh, what a play by Cruz. He took an extra base hit away from Cain.
We've seen him at shortstop and now at third base, the hot corner, the reaction position. It's a great first step jump. Lays out to his right. Nice play.
Here's David Lowe. 1-0 Yankees on a wild pitch. And a strike. All right, time for the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea, which you can see behind the plate. And the weather is 85 degrees, 57% humidity, wind 13 miles per hour, mostly cloudy. Count 1-2.
Good changeup right there. The first one we have seen. Ravon Nova. Good action down and away.
Popped up. Nunez makes the play. And Canó stands there with his arms crossed and says, wait, this is my side of second base. What are you making that call? Some playful banter. You go on your side.
Well, Robinson thinks he's going to be camped underneath it. Eduardo Nunez takes charge. Well, they always say the shortstop has priority in the infield, and Eduardo Nunez shows it right there.
Pitch to Giavotella is a strike. Oh, and 2. And the pitch. 96 miles an hour. What's he doing? Stay on your side. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Good slider. And Nova works a 1-2-3 inning. We're going to the bottom of the second. 1-0 Yankees. And by your Tri Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Tri Honda dealer for great deals on the 2013 CR-V. All right, we go to the bottom of the second inning. Zoilo Almonte leads off with the Yankees up 1-0. Canó still talking about losing that putout. And a strike. Oh, and 2. Almonte 284. Always seems to give you a bit of a representative bat. Doesn't seem overmatched. 1 and 2.
It's always nice when they talk about a good young hitter and they say he's not afraid to hit with 2 strikes, and that's what I've noticed. When he gets 2 strikes, lets the ball travel, does not get too jumpy. And you're right, always seems to give you a good at bat. Wonder about the power potential of Almonte, a switch hitter. Dr. Robbie Thompson, third base coach, when he first came up, said he reminded him of a Melky Cabrera, you know, switch hitter.
Waves at that one, and he goes down on strikes.
Well, the first strikeout for Wade Davis. Talked about at the beginning, throwing his fastball a little bit more. That's going to make the breaking ball a lot more effective. And he's talking about how he doesn't panic with 2 strikes and a weak swing right there on the curveball. Overbay had that pinch hit home run in the first game of the series. Took an 0 for 4 last night. Looking to get back on track here against Davis. He has 3 hits in his last 4 at-bats against Davis. 2 home runs and a double. See if that translates into tonight's at-bats. .429 against Davis.
Two and 2. And Overbay chases a fastball for the second out. Cablevision customers, you won't have to miss a game again now that you can watch live Yes Network Yankee games on your PCs or laptops with Optimum Online. Get a full season of live Yankee games on the go for just $29.99. And if you're an Optimum customer who watches Yes on Optimum TV, go to YesNetwork.com to get more information and subscribe now. And there's a strike to Nunez. High pop-up. Shallow left. Coming in, Alex Gordon. And the Yankees retired in order, 1-2-3. We're going to the bottom of the second in the Bronx. It's 1-0 Yankees. Robertson is this year's final American League All-Star. You can go to Yankees.com or text A3 to 89269 and cast your vote. Also, tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., any tweet with hashtag High Sox for votes on Twitter or any tweet or retweet counts as a vote. So it is a close final vote. Lincoln scoreboard, 1-0 Yankees. And George Kataris takes outside 1-0. Backup catcher on the Royals to Salvador Perez, who's going to the All-Star team, or part of the All-Star team as a reserve. Two Royals going for the first time in 10 years, Alex Gordon and Perez. Two and one.
We talked a little bit last night. Perez battling some leg problems, not running real well, can play, can catch, can hit. Give him a night off tonight. Kataris, a guy who has power as a backup. 4 home runs already.
One away.
Put my votes in for David Robertson today. Took some time and did that.
Did you? That's really nice of you.
Multiple votes.
Here's Alex Gordon. Gordon takes a strike. Gordon, a teammate of Jabba Chamberlain at the University of Nebraska. Grabbed there by Canó on the backhand, and he gets Gordon. We talked about the push for Robertson, and the Yankees actually put together a little bit of a video, and here's part of it.
I have one thing to say.
You better vote.
Well, they are certainly pulling out all stops, huh? Here's Escobar. Count 1-0.
David trying to get on that All-Star team, and saw some of his comments today about Mariano. It's his last All-Star game, wants to be a part of it. to experience that whole deal with Mariano.
Rounded sharply to short, Nunez. And Nova has retired 7 in a row. We're going to the bottom of the third. The Yankees are leading this one 1-0. You're watching, yes. Special giveaway that's great for the summertime. The first 18,000 guests in attendance receive a beach towel courtesy of Pepsi. For tickets, go to Yankees.com, visit the stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Lincoln scoreboard shows the Yankees with a 1-0 lead. Luis Cruz will lead it off against Wade Davis. Strike, Cruz, Stewart, and Gardner, 8, 9, and 1 in the Yankee order. The only run of the game scored on a wild pitch. Foul back.
He's talking about Lorenzo Cain playing center field last night for the Royals, running down one of Cruz's deep shots to left center field last night, robbing him of an extra base hit.
And he can't do much with that one as it's dumped in there for a base hit.
Always frustrating for a pitcher and a catcher when you work so hard to get ahead in the count. You have an opportunity to put a hitter away and you throw a hanging breaking ball right down the middle of the plate. Cruz, to his credit, does not miss it, just slaps it right back up the middle.
Chris Stewart, 5 hits in his last 10 at bats, hitting .255.
You really got to give Chris Stewart some credit. He has played more this year than he's played at any other time in the first half in his career. And a .255 batting average, a lot higher than his career batting average. You wonder, the more he plays, the more he gets fatigued, will he be able to still continue to hit? You mentioned 5 for his last 10. Doing a great job behind the plate, swinging the bat probably a lot better than the Yankees thought he would.
And they're playing him more out of necessity because they're not getting any offense at all out of Austin Romine. And because they're somewhat offensively challenged. They can't take that hit on the drop from Stewart to Romine. Popped up. Hosmer will make the play for the first out. So one away and back to the top of the order, and Brett Gardner.
That sky looks a lot nicer tonight than it did last night. I thought we were for sure going to get a rain delay last night.
Rain for just a brief moment, then stopped, and we were okay. Well, this is the part of the order that the Yankees can do damage against Davis. The first three hitters in their lineup against Davis lifetime, .420 batting average, 21 for 50. That group had a walk and a hit in the first inning, and Canó with a ground ball to second.
Just feels like the Yankees kind of been waiting around offensively, not getting very many opportunities. You wonder if Joe Girardi maybe going to try to be a little more aggressive, play a little more hit and run, just to get something going differently, change it up.
Well, Joe Girardi had a pretty, I thought, honest answer in his pregame meeting with the media when somebody asked him, have you thought about juggling your lineup? And he looked at me and said, do you have any suggestions? I mean, there's very little that he can do. And that clipped Gardner on the way by, so he'll take first base.
You know, the only spot I think he might have some opportunities to do something is the DH spot. Hafner really struggling. Vernon Wells on the bench.
And that's it. I mean, if you look at his bench, Hafner or Wells, because the two other guys on the bench are Romine, who you're not going to use, and Alberto Gonzalez. And Ishikawa had 2 at-bats the other day and didn't look very good. He struck out twice, and he got pinch hit for in the 7th inning. So maybe they made the decision pretty early on him.
And Vernon got a couple of hits against the right-hander the other day, so I thought maybe a possibility he'd get some action tonight against the righty.
So here's Ichiro. 1-0. Now Davis worked in relief against the Yankees last year, 5 2/3 innings. And not only did he not allow a run, he didn't allow a hit. They were 0 for 17 against him, but they've already had 2 hits tonight.
Well, you remember him coming out of the pen for Tampa Bay, really just pounding the zone now, behind in the count 2-0.
2-1 now.
Right down Broadway, just challenging Ichiro Suzuki. Throws it right by him, little foul tip.
Driven into center field and deep. Circling it is Kane. He'll make the play. Tagging is Cruz. He moves to third. So long out for Ichiro.
And with all those plays Kane made last night, going to his right and his left and coming in, this is a routine play for him. He turns around, runs to a spot, and finds the baseball, throws to second base wisely. Looked like a Gold Glover last night, made some nice plays in center field for Kansas City.
He plays a pretty shallow center field, John. So he really had a retreat for a ball that was caught in front of the warning track. So here's Canó now with runners on the corners and 2 outs. He's done well in these situations. 296, 2 outs, and runners in scoring position.
You got to be honest. I mean, the Yankees are looking to Robinson Cano going through this offensive slide the last 3 games. He's got to be the guy to get the big hit. Not easy to do with 2 outs.
And with Hafner continuing to struggle, why would you pitch to him? Why would you give him anything great to hit? And David Cohn always likes to say, okay, first base isn't open, but there is a base open. And that's second base. Driven out to center field. Came back. Still back. Still back. On the track. It's gone. A 3-run home run for Robinson Cano. The Yankees finally get the big blow, and they're up 4-0.
It's been a long time coming for the Yankees to finally get that big hit in the power department, and Robinson Cano comes through. 21st home run of the year, a 3-run shot, just a little bit off center to the other way. And it was a breaking ball out over the plate, so Davis did not challenge him with the fastball. And the Yankees can breathe a little sigh of relief. Finally, they get a big hit. 2 outs, a 3-run bomb.
The last Yankee starter that had a home run was Canó. And Kane ran out of room, and it was Canó again. Looked like Davis couldn't believe it, John, that the ball went out. Now Canó has 1,559 hits, and that breaks a tie with great Thurman Munson.
Well, you could tell Robinson Cano off the bat knew that he hit it well. You're just really at the mercy of which way the wind is blowing. Might have got a little help in that department there.
And Hafner chases a fastball upstairs. But the Yankees do some damage. We have not seen this in a while. Look at Wade Davis. He's watching. He's hoping. And he just cannot believe it's 4-0 Yankees. Why quits for free help today. In '94, Jimmy Key won 17 games with the Yankees, most in the American League. What two future Yankees finished tied for second with 16 wins? Eric Hosmer leads off and fouls it off over the Royals dugout. Yankees lead 4-0 on the Canó 3-run home run.
Well, Ivan Nova, you've been given 4 runs early in this ball game. You're in the 4th inning, going through the middle of their lineup. Love to have a nice shutdown inning, get the Yankees back in their dugout. Yankees starting pitching have not felt this in a while. A 4-run lead through 3 innings.
Ground ball to third. Cruz gets Hosmer. Stay tuned during the 6th inning for a peek at the new film Grown Ups 2 in theaters everywhere Friday. Now, we had Adam Sandler in the booth yesterday, and Jack Curry has a show on the web on YesNetwork.com called JCTV, and he has a really long-form interview with Adam Sandler. So go to YesNetwork.com and check out JCTV with Jack Curry and Adam Sandler. Tonight's actually the premiere of the movie.
So it comes out Friday, but they're showing it tonight to select VIPs?
Yes. Now, I was invited to that premiere because I'm in the movie, but I chose to be with you tonight.
You know, I was a little disappointed. The little advertisement we had on the screen did not have you.
Yeah, so was I, but I didn't want to bring it up, but thank you.
So when's your first look at it going to be? You're going to go Friday? Night game, right?
Either Friday or Saturday. It would have to be an 11 o'clock midnight showing if it was Friday.
Now be careful, because when you go to the movie and walk out, you're probably going to get mobbed by people.
Yeah, I understand that. So I have security plan.
You know, you can do what Derek Jeter does. You walk in late, sit in the back row,
right,
and then sneak out when the credits start rolling.
Strike 3, Billy Butler down looking. I don't know if they'll afford me that same deal as Derek.
Good start to this inning for Nova. Ground ball out, and then locks Butler up with a fastball away. Probably off the plate a little bit. Chris Stewart brings it back. Want to have that shutdown inning after the Yankees give you 3 runs, and Nova off to a good start here with 2 quick outs.
That one is laced into left field. Almonte is right there to retire Moustakas. 10 in a row for Ivan Nova. 3 straight 1-2-3 innings as we go to the 5th. In 94, Jimmy Key won 17 games with the Yankees, most in the American League. What two future Yankees finished tied for second with 16 wins? The answer is
David Wells, one of those? Nope.
David Cone and Mike Messina. I believe that's the year that Cone won the Cy Young. Pitch to Almonte is outside. That one's lined to right field. Lowe coming on, slides to make the catch for the first out.
Lowe getting an opportunity in right field. He's had a pretty good series. Hit that home run last night at KCA Sabathia.
Overbay struck out in the second inning. It's 4-0 Yankees. Count 1-0. On this homestand, Lyle 6 for 16. And on the only day they gave him off, he pinch hit in the 7th inning, and that's when he hit a home run. Jeremy Guthrie. And the right-hander deals. 2-2.
We're starting to see that cut fastball here in the 4th inning. Almonte got a look at it and hammered it to right field. Second time through the lineup, starting to throw some more cutters. See why Davis has struggled a little bit. I mean, his stuff is plenty good enough. Fastball 92, 94, 95. Good curveball, but kind of scatters it all over the place, not really hitting his spots. He drops it down to 91 with the cutter in. Foul ball off of Lyle Overbay's leg.
I have a look-alike on Overbay. The actor Michael Rappaport.
You're going to have to remind me what he's played in.
A lot of roles. There's a ground ball to third. Moustakis gets Overbay for the second out. He was in Copland. Been on a lot of TV shows.
Now that you're a big-time actor, you're kind of following all these guys, right? You're thinking the movie business.
You got me. You got me. You got me.
It's a good call.
Now, do you know him? Oh, they.
No, Peter, statistician, just showed me a picture of him.
I was just trying.
You're
to
right on there.
All right. 2-0 to Nunez. Two and one. Nunez with a fly ball to left in the second. Nunez's time might be short up here as the starting shortstop. A lot of different sources on Twitter are saying that Derek Jeter is expected to be with the Yankees on Friday against the Twins here at the stadium. A lot of people are reporting it. So.
Is that Derek saying that?
No, and it's not the Yankees either. So you can only go by the fact that a lot of people are reporting it. Nothing yet official. We go to the fifth. It is 4-0 Yankees. And we'll bring in our very own Meredith Marakovitz. Meredith, what do we know about Jeter? I just said that a lot of people on Twitter are reporting that it could be Friday. Yankees have not made any announcement whatsoever. What are you hearing?
And, Michael, it could certainly be Friday, but I think it's a lot of people that are optimistic that Derek Jeter will be here on Friday. The Yankees certainly haven't said anything. The plan right now is for him to play, as you see, obviously with the Scranton-Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders tonight, and then play again in the field tomorrow. Joe Girardi's been very clear about this. He will not bring him up here. The Yankees organization will not bring him up here until he plays back-to-back games in the field, and he has not done that yet. So you look at the first 3 games he has played with the Rail Riders. He played in the field for 5 innings, DH'd, played in the field for another 5 innings, had an off day, and that brings you to this evening. So he could foreseeably, the plan is for him to play again in the field tomorrow, be ready by Friday if they deem him ready, but right now there's certainly no plan for that. And where things get a little hairy is you look at it, it's a 3-game series, and then you head to the All-Star break. Do you want to bring Derek Jeter back for 3 games or for 2 games, and then it would be for 2 games, then have him sit for 4 days for the All-Star break and then play in Boston? That's something that the Yankees are going to have to weigh. Do they want to continue to see him get at bats, or are they okay with him resting during those 4 days?
Line drive right at Canó to retire Kane. He's lined the ball hard twice. One a great play by Cruz, and that one a quick play by Canó. Kia scoreboard, Yankees lead this one 4-0, and everybody that is tweeting it out, they're saying barring any setbacks.
Sure.
So we'll see, and we'll see how many innings Derek plays tonight and how many he plays tomorrow. So it's something to keep an eye on. Yankees are home this weekend against the Twins. This whole week is special as well because it's Hope Week, and Meredith has been covering that for us, and each day the stories get more heartwarming. What about today?
Well, today was an animal rescue shelter in the industrial part of the East Bronx, and a man by the name of Pedro Rosario headed up this project. And he's a guy that really doesn't have much, but all the money he does have goes back to the animals and trying to care for these animals, get them adopted. And some Yankees were on hand. Brett Gardner, Sean Kelly, Jenny Steinbrenner was on hand helping out at the shelter. So it was a nice, as you see here, Jason Zillow and Ichiro Suzuki, who's a big animal lover himself. And you see the dogs excited to see everyone there. And they brought supplies, they brought food, they brought everything to try to help Pedro out a little bit. He was also on the field and threw out the first pitch earlier today. But it's tough because, like I said, he really doesn't have much, and he's really dedicated to himself to that. And he grew up in the Dominican Republic, kind of found a love for animals then, started caring for them then already. And now there are some kids in the Bronx that are actually part of the volunteer group there that are aspiring vets that are hoping to go to school for that in the future, that come and kind of help him out and learn about caring for animals at a young age.
And you saw Jennifer Steinbrenner Swindle present a check to this cause. And she was also at the event, as Meredith said. So Yankees continue to get involved in these great projects, and Hope Week brings it together during that 1 week and really highlights it. And the highlighting is part of the big deal as well, because it brings attention to these causes where other people can also help.
It certainly brings awareness to it, and you've seen it with some of the causes in past years where other people's eyes are kind of opened to what's out there and the amount of people that really do need help out there. And the Yankees kind of bringing that to light certainly puts some more eyes on that, and people are able to get some more funding to really help their causes.
And more on this story tomorrow during the pregame, and another day in Hope Week tomorrow and Friday as well. And each one is more really heart-wrenching and sometimes heartwarming, but the Yankees do, as Meredith said, call attention to these causes, and it's really a very, very special thing that the organization does. Can't just say the team, because there's people in the front office that do it too. So count is 1-1 on Gia Patella. And there's a line drive base hit to center field. So that brings a string of 12 straight to a close. A base hit by the Royal second baseman. Now, we talked about Jeter. Also rehabbing is Alex Rodriguez, and there's stories out there that he's going to meet with the Major League Baseball investigators on Friday. Nobody has confirmed that either. What do we know? That remains to be seen, and he's been pretty quiet about the whole thing. And you saw what went on with Ryan Braun. You wonder if Alex Rodriguez will follow suit and not really answering too many questions. But we do know this, Michael. He was playing with the Tampa Yankees today, and he went 1 for 3. So he's now 2 for 15 in 6 rehab games. He said, look, it's going to take me about 10 games, 20 to 25 at-bats to really assess where I am, assess where I need to be, and if I'm progressing as I should be. Right now, he's still in the early stages of it, just his 6th game, so still some time there. And Joe already kind of said earlier today, look, you know, he can go out there tomorrow and feel 100% better. The timing could be back, and he said, yeah, he can say, yeah, I'm ready to come back right now. Or it could take him a couple more games. It could take him 2 more weeks. You just don't know how somebody's going to bounce back from that type of surgery. And he has said right from the very beginning, it's going to take me almost the whole time. And he was asked yesterday, is there a chance that you won't be ready at the end of the 20 days? He said, oh, I'll be ready. So he has not looked great so far. According to eyewitnesses, he looks slow, and he's been striking out a lot, but he hasn't played baseball in a long time. And I asked Joe Girardi that same question. Is there a chance that this guy isn't ready after the 20 days? And he said, well, if he's healthy, he'll be ready. The biggest thing is whether or not he's healthy. He said there's no reason in the event that he's not feeling anything in that hip that he shouldn't be ready in 20 days. Now, will his timing be completely back? You don't know that, but he should be able to get into Major League games in 20 days, or at least the Yankees are hopeful that he can come back in 20 days. Ivan Nova pitching well again, certainly staking a claim to a spot in the rotation. This spot really belonged to David Phelps, who's on the DL. Any news on him? Well, he was in the clubhouse for the first time today since going on the DL, retroactive to July 5th with the right forearm strain. As you see, another base hit here off of Ivan Nova. 2 straight singles, this one by Kataris. And he said
the forearm really didn't hurt him at all while he was pitching. That was the thing. It was after he was pitching, he went into the trainer's office and talked to Stevie Donahue and said he's felt some stiffness, asked him for some anti-inflammatories. And Stevie said, look, you should probably get this checked out by the doctor. So they went ahead, had him checked out, had him get an MRI, and it showed a slight strain. But Phelps said the good news was that he learned there's nothing wrong with the ligament. The ligament is A-OK. It's more of a muscular issue. He hasn't felt anything since he's been shut down. He'll begin a throwing program down in Tampa on Monday. That'll be 10 days. They decided to shut him down for a full 10 days, make sure that thing is healed and he doesn't have any issues moving forward. So they expect him to come back pretty soon after the All-Star break.
Be interesting to see when he's ready to come back. If Nova's still pitching this way, what do you do?
Ivan Nova is not going anywhere if he's still pitching this way. He's locked in this rotation. Dominant pitcher right now. In a little bit of trouble here in the fifth, though, with 2 outs.
Deals low to Gordon. We will hear from Meredith a little bit later on in the postgame, right, Meredith?
Of course, unless you don't want me on the postgame.
You know what? I really do want you on the postgame.
Fantastic, because I'll be there.
All right, good. The 1-0. 1-1.
That is just a nasty curveball right there from Ivan Nova. Kind of cruising after that first inning where he gave up a couple of hits. And this is almost unhittable. You're seeing big league hitters miss that by a good 6-8 inches. That's an all-star hitter, too.
Fastball at 95 miles an hour.
Ivan Nova in that complete game, his last time out against Baltimore, averaged 11.3 pitches per inning, kept his pitch count way down, was able to throw the complete game. Chris Stewart noticing something with that front shoulder, now behind in a dangerous count, 3-1. Those are numbers from the last game.
First complete game.
It's hard to strike out 11 people in the lineup and keep your pitch count at 102 and throw a complete game.
And he walks Gordon and comes up a little bit of a problem here. Bases loaded with 2 outs.
Got 2 quick outs here in the 5th inning, back-to-back base hits, and now a walk to Gordon. Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, will give him a little bit of a breather, try to regroup, and go get Escobar, the shortstop for the Royals. Mentioned earlier, Escobar has hit safely in 13 consecutive road games.
John, you've been in those meetings on the mound. Do pitchers even listen?
You know what? They're probably nodding their head a lot. You wonder how much is actually settling into their brain. But the big purpose of that meeting by Larry Rothschild is to give Nova a little bit of a break. Let's regroup a little bit, go over a scouting report of Escobar, get back to your basics. They'll probably withhold 50% of the information, but the main factor is to give him a little physical break.
So bases loaded, 2 outs, and here is Alcides Escobar, who was 0 for 2 tonight. A strikeout and the ground ball is short. Misses outside. Gio Vitella is at third. Kataris at second and Gordon at first. That one's popped up. Shallow left. Coming on is Almonte. And Nova works out of trouble. No runs, 2 hits, and the bases are left loaded. We're halfway through. Yankees up by 4. We've got a matinee tomorrow against the Royals, and then the first half finishes with 3 against the Twins Friday night, and then Saturday and Sunday afternoon, all the games on Yes. All-Star Game can be seen on Fox on Tuesday, and then the second half begins at Fenway Park with a 3-game series against the first-place Red Sox. Kia scoreboard 4-0 Yankees as Luis Cruz leads off, takes pitch out of the zone, the 1-0. Fouled away. He singled to center and scored in the third inning. Popped up and out of play.
Cruz now has that batting average up to 269 as a Yankee. Made some nice plays at third base. He's starting to settle in, get comfortable. You wonder what his role will be when Derek Jeter gets back.
Swing and a miss. Cruz down on strikes. Here's Chris Stewart. Fly ball center field. Lorenzo Cain for the second out. So 6 in a row for Davis after the 3-run home run by Canó. And back to the top of the lineup, and Brett Gardner. Gardner has walked and was hit by a pitch, and he scored 2 runs tonight. Strike, 0-1. Yankees lost the last game of the Orioles series. Things were going so well. They'd won 6 in a row. They were 3 outs away from 7 in a row. The Adam Jones home run off Mo gave the Orioles the win. And then 2 losses against the Royals, and how quickly emotions can turn. Feeling great about life with 6 in a row. And now it's 3 in a row, and they're trying to snap that here tonight.
Yeah, you were looking at that Baltimore series saying if they could get through that stretch in a good manner, they would be in good shape the rest of this homestand. Even taking 2 out of 3, a good series against Baltimore, tough loss the last game. Just struggling to score runs the first couple of games of this series.
Well, this is an outburst for them because in the 3-game losing streak, it's been 1 run per game. And that puts a lot of pressures on your pitching staff. Count 3-2 on Gardner. And the 3-2. And Gardner walks. 2-out walk issued to Gardner, so he's on base for the 3rd time.
Pitch by Davis did not miss by much. Brett Gardner at first base with 2 outs. Any other year you'd be saying, you know what, just take off, get yourself into scoring position, but only 11 stolen bases, has been thrown out 6 times. Not a great percentage for Brett Gardner this year. Kind of saw that last year at the beginning of the year. He started off slow and picked it up as the season moved on. It hasn't happened yet. Kataris behind the plate, known more as an offensive catcher, has good power, swings the bat from the left side. Decent thrower, nothing special.
Runner goes, throw to second. Not in time. A stolen base for Gardner.
You'd like to see more of this if you're the New York Yankees and their fans. 12th stolen base of the year. Kataris, not a good throw. It's low. Escobar can't come up with it. Tries to just get rid of it quickly and be accurate with the throw. He's not. And Brett Gardner in scoring position with 2 outs.
Fights that off. Foul. Ichiro tonight 1 for 2, which makes him 11 for 21 with a home run lifetime against Wade Davis. 4-0 Yankees. They have just 3 hits. The Royals 4, but the 3-run home run by Canó. A big blow in this game. And the pitch. He swings and foul tips it into the glove of Kataris, and that will do it. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. We go to the 6th. 4-0 Yankees right here on Yes. By the Toyota Prius, official hybrid vehicle of the Yankees. And we go to the 6th inning. It's 4-0 Yankees. You know, I looked it up, John. The stolen base by Gardner is somewhat notable because it's his first stolen base since June 16th. You see the grown-ups 2 scoreboard, 4-0 Yankees. It's about a month without a stolen base.
It's hard to believe.
Yeah.
Like I said, you know, we kind of saw that at the beginning last year. He started off slow, looked like he didn't have a lot of confidence, and then all of a sudden got going. The Yankees are going to need that from him. He's been striking out a lot. They need that speed game to start showing up again.
Do you think the fact that he has to play almost every inning of every game has taken some of the speed away and he doesn't steal bases?
That better not be the case, because he's an everyday player for the New York Yankees who's supposed to steal bases. That can't be.
Ground ball to first. That's a foul ball.
I understand he didn't play a whole lot last year because of the injuries, but that can't be the case.
I mean, you try to find a reason, because that is a big part of his game, and for him to not steal a base in close to a month is really hard to believe.
I think it's more that Brett gets a little gun shy. When he gets thrown out a couple of times, all of a sudden he gets a little tentative over there at first base. And, you know, all the great base stealers that I played with, you got to have that arrogance, that confidence that I'm going to challenge pitchers and catchers even if I get thrown out. It's like the great three-point shooters. Keep shooting.
Hosmer grounds to Overbay for the first out. This guy's got a lot of hustle in him. Every time he hits a ground, he's your number 3 hitter, and he is busting it right down the line on a ground ball to first base, and he is making Overbay rush, and there's something to be said for that. Still a young kid. He should run hard all the time, but unfortunately in this day and age and in this game, it seems like it's the exception rather than the rule.
I know for a fact that since George Brett has entered the equation here, and you can see him busting it down the line.
He had very little chance to get there, but still make the guy rush.
Well, once that man, George Brett, the Hall of Famer, has shown up, that's been a topic of conversation in that dugout. Busting it every time, playing as hard as you can. George Brett, Hal McRae on those Royal teams, they played hard. They went into second base hard. Could be a big 6th inning here for Ivan Nova, going through the middle of the lineup. 3, 4, 5. Hosmer, Butler, and Moustakas.
Fly ball right field. Suzuki for the second out. Here's Moustakas, 0 for 2 tonight, with a ground ball to first, a fly ball to left. Ground ball to first. And a 1-2-3 bounce back inning for Ivan Nova as the Royals go down in order. Yankees lead 4-0. Time now for a peek at Grown Ups 2 in theaters everywhere Friday. Another big name star goes on the DL. Darvish, you see his numbers in 18 starts with the Rangers, placed on the 15-day DL today, and this seems to be the injury du jour, John. Another strained trapezius.
You know, I'm shocked that it's not an elbow problem. That start he threw against the Yankees, he threw so many sliders in that game. I'm shocked it's the trap instead of the elbow.
Grown-ups 2 scoreboard, 4-0 Yankees. As Canó leads off the bottom of the 6th. Canó with the big blow in this game, a 3-run home run in the 3rd. That one is looped into left field. It dunks in for a base hit.
Robinson Cano with the blast his last at bat against Davis, and now a little bloop single the other way. Davis, instead of going with the breaking ball away, which the home run pitch was, he goes fastball in. Robinson gets beat a little bit, but like all good hitters who get jammed, picks up a base hit.
Now this is interesting right here. Travis Hafner 0 for 2, and Joe Girardi sends Vernon Wells up to pinch hit for Hafner. Now is this Hafner hasn't looked good, or is there something up with Hafner? And we'll certainly try to find out for you. There's a strike to Wells.
Well, we've seen Joe Girardi make some pinch hitting appearances in the middle of ball games that made us scratch our head a little bit, but with a 4-run lead, I would be shocked if this was a pinch hitting appearance. Maybe something happened to Hafner. We'll find that out.
With his 0 for 2 tonight, John, he's 1 for his last 19.
Yeah, but would you take him out in the middle of a game with a 4-run lead?
I don't think so. Canó goes, pitch inside, throw to second. A stolen base for Robinson Canó.
6th stolen base on the year has not been thrown out. You can take advantage of Guitarras behind the plate. It's rid of it quick and it's accurate, but not a lot on the throw. Pretty good jump by Robinson.
One and two. If we don't find out what the deal is before the end of the game, certainly on the post-game show, Meredith will be working the clubhouse, so we will find out. 1-2. Fouled away. And we showed you the numbers earlier. The first month of the season, Hafner was a revelation. And it looked like a steal for the Yankees as they gambled and it paid off. But in the subsequent 50 games, he's become a much different player, and not for the better. Had some shoulder problems, but said yesterday that has nothing to do with his offensive struggles.
We saw Vernon Wells in the first game of this series against the right-hander Guthrie. Picked up a couple of hits his first 2 at bats.
There's a base hit to left field. Canó headed back to second, wanted to see if the ball got through, so he just advances to third. Pinch hit single for Wells.
Wells has definitely picked it up lately. A game-winning hit against Baltimore in the bottom of the 9th. A little slider down and away, just stays on it enough to pull it through that hole between short and third. Robinson Canó, you have to make sure it's through. Once he sees it is, cruise on into third base. Wells 9 for 19 in the month of July, now 2 for 12 against Davis.
Here is Zoilo Almonte. There's some stirring right now in Kansas City's bullpen. Looks like somebody's going to start to throw. Gutierrez. Very good acoustics in that bullpen. Sounds like you're throwing hard. Listen to the pop. In all your years behind the plate, who made your glove pop the loudest?
Clemens was up there. Tanyan Sturtz, actually.
Really?
Yeah. You know, and it's amazing, those bullpen guys down there, too. They wanted to hear the glove pop, make them feel a little bit better about themselves, like they were throwing a little harder than they probably were.
And ironically enough, one of the best bullpens acoustically is the one in Kansas City. The 2-1. When the glove pops, does it hurt the hand more?
Not at all.
Really?
No, when you're a seasoned professional down there. I mean, I would hold the glove kind of in my fingertips a little bit more.
Right.
So it wouldn't really make contact with my hand. And if you catch it properly, never had much of a problem. The problem was with those guys who threw the heavy sinker, and you would get your left thumb beat up a little bit.
Runner goes. Foul away. So they send the runner on 3-1. Well, their scouting report is to run on Kataris. See if they send him on 3-2. They do. And a walk to load the bases. So Davis has pitched himself into a jam.
Dave Island, the pitching coach, goes to the bullpen phone. Ned Yost, the manager, mulling over his decision. Royals have a good bullpen. Their relievers have taken over the top spot in the American League ERA with a 2.94 ERA, so plenty of options for Ned Yost and his bullpen.
This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees.
You'd think this would be a little easier at bat for Lyle Overbay. Bases loaded, nobody out, but more importantly, that 4-run lead. The lineup has been struggling to score runs, and you're put up in a big spot in a 0-0 game. It's a little bit different. Should be able to relax here, look for a good pitch, and let it fly.
Pitch inside to Overbay, who was 0 for 2, struck out and grounded to third. Canó's at third, Wells at second, and Almonte over at first. Want to make the seats out of play.
See Lyle working underneath the ball a little bit there. You want to make sure you get the ball up in the air. Stay away from that ground ball double play. Starting pitcher with a pitch count is close to 100. Next pitch will be 100. More apt to make a little mistake here when the fatigue sets in. Good pitches for Davis.
Levels it up at 2-2. Chance for the Yankees to really break this open. Their bullpen is well rested. Nova's been pitching well. 4-0 seems like a hefty advantage, but you tag onto that, you like your chances going into the final 3 innings. So bases loaded, nobody out. The 2-2. Still throwing hard, 95 miles an hour. This is 102nd pitch.
Not afraid of challenging Lyle Overbay either, just kind of coming right at him with fastball after fastball, away, in. Season high for Davis with the pitch count is 107.
Count 3-2.
Lyle Overbay, now you get to that 3-2 count. Nunez on deck, bases loaded. He's sitting dead red. Look for that fastball. Make sure you get the bat head out a little bit. If he throws an off-speed pitch, tip your hat to him.
Runners lead. Nobody out. And the payoff. Driven out to left field. Going back, Gordon. On the track, at the wall. See ya! A grand slam for Lyle Overbay. And the Yankees have broken it open. They lead 8-0.
Home run of the year for Lyle Overbay, showing some opposite field power. I was saying look for a fastball, get the bat head out and try to pull it. But Lyle just stays on it, up and away, out over the plate. It was the fastball. The borderline up out over the plate. See Gordon going back, good backspin, good carry, and it's going to be a grand slam and a 7-0 lead for the Yankees.
So with that grand slam, they're up by 8 as Wade Davis departs and they go to the bullpen.
1/3. Only 8 walks. Mentioned this, the ERA for the bullpen under 3. For the Kansas City Royals, it's tops in the American League.
Well, the grand slam by Overbay, his 4th career grand slam, first one since 2006.
What, not the easiest pitch to drive out of here to. That was borderline probably ball out of the strike zone. Impressive opposite field power.
And Nunez greets Gutierrez with a single left.
You finally get that feeling the Yankees can relax a little bit offensively. 8 runs on the board. Hitting is contagious one way or the other. When you're struggling, you feel a little tension at the plate. Put 8 runs on the board, you can relax a little bit. Kevin Long, the hitting instructor, has to love it.
When you realize what Overbay has provided the Yankees and how they got him, 3 days left in spring training, released by the Red Sox. And the Yankees took a flyer. You have 3 days to convince us. And he did. And he's been a very nice player for them. Not going to any All-Star game, but he has certainly contributed. Does ground ball to first. And they get the force at second.
And you add on to it, Mark Teixeira comes back, and the Yankees hold on to him, knowing they have to have him as an insurance policy. Teixeira goes down, and that was your everyday first baseman again.
He got 11 home runs, 40 runs batted in half a season. And he's played more this year than he's played in a half season in a very, very long time. I'm sure the Yankees would like to get a right-handed first baseman to platoon with Overbay, but right now it is Overbay. He plays a lot, does a nice job in the field, and he has gotten occasional big hits. And a strike. And that was key, John, because there was some thought, well, maybe they'll release him when Teixeira came back, because he really was a non-player. They put him in the outfield, they tried him there, but he's a first baseman, that's it. But they just were not sure about the long-term viability of that wrist on Teixeira, and they kept him, kind of ate up a roster spot, but it paid off for them. 0-2.
Mention all the playing time that he has gotten in the first half. I'm sure he's looking forward to that All-Star break. Finish up this series, a couple of games against the Twins, and then take your days to relax and regroup. Look forward to the second half.
The 0-2. 1-2. Yankees come into the action tonight with a 48-42 record. And they're in 4th place in the East, but just 5 back in the loss column. Tampa Bay's in 2nd, Baltimore 3rd, and the Blue Jays trail the field.
Tampa Bay, the hot ball club in there, coming into today winning 6 in a row.
And 9 of their last 10. They're trailing Minnesota 3-1 in the 6th right now. Popped up. And Giovatella makes a nice play to take a base hit away from Stewart and then tried to double up Cruz.
Nice play by Giovatella going back. Low in right field coming in. And then he just commits to going. Nice backhand over the shoulder catch. You got to be worried about a little contact there with the outfielder running in. Looked like they had good communication.
Strike to Gardner.
Brett has been on base all 3 times. Couple of walks, hit by a pitch, couple of runs, and a stolen base. His 12th of the year.
And Gardner gets plunked.
See where this gets him. I think it was right around the shin. Thought it was a little higher up around the knee.
Brett's got a lot of game on him today. Uniform looks like he's played.
Vernon Wells in this game now. You assume Brett Gardner's going to stay in there. Looks like he's going to be all right.
Ichiro, fly ball to center. And Kane is there, but the Yankees bat around. And they score 4 runs on this one swing by Lyle Overbay. 3-2 pitch. See ya. Into the left field seats. A grand slam and 8-0 Yankee lead. And 0 beating 0-4-0. Canó a 3-run home run. Overbay a grand slam. Boy, homers make things easier. Nova, 6 innings, 4 hits. Has not allowed a run, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. John, I got this stat. I have this stat, to be grammatically correct. Yankees come in today at 48 and 42, so they're 6 games over 500. Well, with the 8 runs they score today, they finally have a positive run differential. They were 6 games over 500, and their opponents for the year had outscored them by 6 runs.
Wow.
How do you figure out that they're still hanging with that kind of offense?
Pitching has been fantastic, winning a lot of close games, and then the other nights when your pitching's not there, you're going to give up a lot of runs. You see 8-0 on the Cadillac scoreboard.
So 8-0 gives them a positive run differential for the season by 2.
I'm interested to see what Ivan Nova does here in the 7th inning. A long time in that Yankee dugout. Pitching change in the 6th inning, the grand slam. Quickly ahead, 0-2 to Kane.
Kane down on strikes. You know, we talk about run differential, and John said because the pitching's been so good. Well, how good have they been? Yankee pitchers have allowed 4 runs or less 61 times this season. And that's the most in the American League. So their record's pretty good when they hold opponents to that, but sometimes, like on Sunday, they don't win even when they do a great job pitching. We saw Steve Donahue and Joe Girardi talking something over there. Low, chopped from up the first baseline.
Nova doing it again. His last out in complete game here. 84 pitches, 1 out in the 7th. I hate to say he's making it look easy, but he's making it look pretty easy. Getting ahead in counts, throwing all of his pitches for strikes, and again that devastating curveball that he had his last outing.
Ground ball to first. Overbay will take it himself to retire Low for the 2nd out.
Remember, it wasn't too long ago with Nova making mistakes with the breaking ball, giving up home runs. Since that trip to the minor leagues, he looks like the Ivan Nova of the first half of last year.
There's something to be said for sending a young pitcher down and kind of a wake-up call. Cold splash of water to the face. And he retires the side in order here in the 7th. Nova, 7 shutout innings here at the stadium. Following the complete game his last time out. At the end of 6.5, it's time for the 7th inning stretch. Yankees lead the Royals 8-0. But let's stay right here to honor America in the Bronx.
Please rise and remove your caps. And please direct your attention to the area behind home plate and welcome 2 honored guests of the New York Yankees. United States Marine Corps Corporal Chantel Baring, who served in the global war on terrorism. And United States Marine Corps Corporal Brandon Swillinger, who also served in the global war on terrorism. The Yankees say thank you for your sacrifice and service to our nation. Now, please join in Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a flight from above.
And we have a new member of the Yes family, Olive Lori Lynn Abram, 7 pounds, 14 ounces, born on July 8th. Mom Marissa and Eric Abram, the dad. So congratulations. Welcome to the world, Olive.
Beautiful.
Here's Canó. 2 for 3, 3-run home run, single, stolen base, 2 runs scored. Cadillac scoreboard 8-0. Let's say, John, just for giggle's sake, that Nova pitches another complete game. Can you guess what year the Yankees last had? That one is driven deep to right center. Going back, Kane looking up, and it's off the top of the wall. And Canó is at second. He's heading for 3, and he is going to be out. And the reason he's out is he broke it down and thought it was a home run. And if he was running hard all the way, it would have been an easy triple.
Yeah, we're going to get a look at it right here out of the box. Not running 100% there, watching it, and then you can see he kicks it in another gear right there. That's 100%. And the strong throw from Kane, accurate at third base, gets Robinson Canó. We'll see how close it was from being his second home run of the evening, right off the top of the wall.
And on Yes Mo, you can see how close it is, right after the M in .com. It's weird. He broke it down twice. Broke it down, started, then broke it down again, and then decided he should have just stayed at second, because by going to third, you're taking a chance. And how about Vernon Wells? He pinch hits a single in the 6th, and now he picks up his second hit. So as Vernon Wells rounds first, we are going to go back to the studio and update from Bob Lorenz. Derek also with a throwing error by shortstop.
Well, don't you find yourself watching him running down the line,
yes,
trying to get a look at what he looks like moving?
It's really hard to tell.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the question. How many years ago do you think the Yankees last had a pitcher give you 2 9-inning complete game victories?
I'm going to say we'll go back to the mid-90s.
Wow. How far?
Well, the mid-90s is 95.
Well, then you hit it right on the schnoz. That was pretty impressive.
It's a lucky guess.
Now, can you tell me who it is? That would be even better. As Almonte pops it up to short left. Escobar makes the play for the second out. I'll give you a clue. He achieved his greatness with another team, the Chicago White Sox.
Blackjack.
Yes. Jack McDowell. September 6th and September 11th of 1995. And what's impressive about that, Yankees had to win almost every single day in September to get that wild card spot and get back into the playoffs. Here's Overbay. And a strike. How'd you come up with middle of the 90s?
Yeah, it was a lucky guess.
Wow. Grounded to first. Hosmer is there, and that's going to do it. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We're going to the 8th inning. All Yankees.
strikeouts, and we're going to look at every one of them. A big-time curveball tonight, down and away. Locates the fastball when he needs it. Love the reaction of Chris Stewart right there, nodding after the strikeout. Outstanding breaking ball all night long. 5 of the 6 strikeouts on the curveball. Making it look easy, Michael.
Last 16 innings, 2 earned runs, 7 hits, and 17 strikeouts. And he's gotten offensive support that no Yankee pitcher has seen this year. The 8 runs they scored, the most they've scored in a home game this year. Hyundai scoreboard, it's 8-0.
You know, Michael, you mentioned last inning that Nova going down to AAA, you know, a little reality and a wake-up call, but you actually give him a little bit of credit because he didn't go down there and mope, didn't go through the motions, woe is me, why am I down here? He went down there and got it done, pitched well, got better, and made his way back here. So a lot of young players go down and give away a couple of weeks, not Nova, as Gonzalez moves into right field and Ichiro slides over to center.
And you wonder if Gardner is okay after getting hit.
Obviously, in an 8-0 game, you can afford to take him out, get some ice on that shin. More interested to hear about Hafner, see if he's all right after the game.
There's a strike to Kataris. Rounded to third. Cruz for the first out. Well, let's take a look at tomorrow's starting pitchers, brought to you by Verizon Fios, making life more entertaining with America's fastest, most reliable internet. That's powerful. Urban Santana, good ERA for the Royals against Andy Pettit, who really has not been on top of his game of late. He did win his last time out, 4.37. It's a matinee. We start at 12:30 with the pregame, and 1:07 will be first pitch. Ground ball to Canó, as Gordon is retired. 9 in a row after the walk to Gordon in the 5th inning.
A lot of ground balls, 6 strikeouts. Good sign that his sinker, when it's down, he's getting the ground balls that he's looking for, and when he needs a strikeout, he goes to the curveball and he's able to get it.
Now he's at 93, and you could actually let him finish this game even if he gets to 110 or 115, because he doesn't start again for a long time. He's not going to start on this homestand. Today's Wednesday. They finish up the first half on Sunday. In all likelihood, the way they set up their rotation, I don't think he's going to start against the Red Sox, Tom. So you might see him again in Texas.
Or you might want him to start the way he's pitched the last 2 times.
You're right. It'll be interesting to see how they set that up. Now he might be available for them out of the bullpen on Sunday. If you think about it, if you want to rate your Yankee starters, it would probably, right now, off their last couple of outings, it would be Kuroda and then Nova.
CC has been better. His last outing, a tough loss.
It would be probably Kuroda, Nova, CC, Pettit, and Hughes. Although, you know what? Maybe Hughes could be ahead of Pettit because he had 2 good starts before. You know, he gave up the 2 runs in the rain-shortened game. You can see Nova is disgusted with himself as he walks Escobar with 2 outs. To vote for the Chevy Player of the Game, visit votechevy.com. Results will be revealed in the post-game show. Grounded up the first baseline. Foul. John, don't you find it interesting in the world with Wi-Fi and cell phones and intelligent communication that in every ballpark they still use a landline?
Wasn't there talk that that was going to change in spring training?
I had heard, but now you still got the phone on the wall. I mean, that's the way to go, right there. Maybe even a text out there.
Send a tweet.
Yes. Swing and a miss. Runner was going. He'll take second. And that scored defensive indifference. So an 0-2 count on Hosmer. 101 pitches for Nova. One and two.
Nice play by Chris Stewart, keeping that breaking ball in front, deadening it right on home plate. Start thinking along with Joe Girardi, if Ivan Nova can get Hosmer out, does he send him back out there for the ninth? Bullpen getting loose already. Pitch right there ties a season high for the pitch count for Ivan Nova, 103.
And there's a base hit down the left field line. That's going to score Escobar as Hosmer picks up an RBI double. So the Royals are on the board. That breaks the shutout. And the Yankees lead 8-1. That'll bring Rothschild out to talk with Nova.
Yeah, you can see Ivan Nova, that look on his face doesn't seem to be too concerned with that. A shutout possibility lost with 2 outs in the 8th inning. Still has been outstanding all night long. Hosmer, the ability to go the other way. Talking during this series that early on pitchers were beating him inside. That's not the case anymore, so they're going back out over the plate, playing to his strengths.
Pitch to Butler. Chop to second. Nice hop for Canó. And that will do it. That's an impressive 8 innings for Nova. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 8-1 Yanks. We have a complete recap of all of tonight's action, plus Meredith Marakovitz gets the team's reaction and Joe Girardi's comments in the manager's report. It's the WB Mason postgame. It's only on Yes. New pitcher for the Royals, it's Lewis Coleman.
And he's got called back up from the minor leagues on Monday. His 5th game. Good numbers down in the minor leagues, 3-2 with a 1.61 ERA over 44 2/3 innings with Omaha. Watching his warm-ups, he throws big time across his body. Going to be a tough at bat for a right-hander like Nunez.
Monday scoreboard 8-1 Yanks. And a breaking ball strike to Nunez. A lot of changes defensively for the Royals. We'll get you the changes in just a moment.
Coleman steps right towards the Kansas City Royals dugout and then crossfires back to home plate. Not be comfortable for a right-handed hitter.
Swing and a miss. Nunez down on strikes. Those are the changes. So Lowe moves from right to left. Dyson comes in center, and Kane moves from center over right. Johnson takes over for Escobar in short, and everybody else remains the same other than the pitcher Coleman.
So hard for a righty. It feels like he's stepping right towards you. Going to throw behind your back. Ends up a slider down and away in a weak swing. Obviously, left-handed hitters would get a better look at that delivery than the righties.
And there's a strike. One count on Cruz. Cruz 1 for 3, a single and a run scored. Foul back. That does not look comfortable on the count 2-2.
A lot of pitchers aren't able to do that with their arm. They, would obviously put a lot of torque and pressure on that elbow throwing back across your body.
Sometimes teams will try to change you to avoid that arm injury, but then if they change you, John, you're not as effective.
No, you become just a mediocre pitcher. I mean, fastball at 91, nothing exciting. Pretty good slider, but he's all about deception.
So he does not hold up, so Cruz down on strikes.
Doug Eddings, first base umpire. We'll get another look with Cruz with this little check swing. He did go, a little slider down and away.
John, we have some injury news. Hafner left the game with a left foot contusion. Took x-rays, negative. Gardner left the game with a right leg contusion, x-rays negative. Both are day-to-day. Here's Chris Stewart. 1-0. Stewart's 0 for 3 tonight. Popped to first, fly to center, then popped to second. Nice play by Giapatel on that one. Grounded foul.
Chris Stewart behind the count 1-2. You're probably going to get a look at a couple of sliders. Tough to keep that front shoulder in there. When you got a pitcher with this type of delivery, you got to trust yourself, drive it right back up the middle.
And the pitch. Swing and a miss. That's an impressive inning for Coleman. 3 up, 3 down, 3 strikeouts. We go to the 9th inning. Yankees leading this one 8-1 as they try to break a 3-game losing streak. Performance Technology. By grown-ups too in theaters everywhere Friday. And by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. Turned into a nice night here in the Bronx. The rain certainly held up. Ivan Nova goes 8 innings. They will not let him go for the complete game. So they'll bring in Jabba Chamberlain to try to get the final 3 outs and hunt the face 5, 6, and 7 in the Royals' order.
Jabba has not worked in a while. His last outing Thursday in Minnesota. Did not pitch in the Baltimore series. We did not see him in the first 2 games in this Royals series. So getting a little work, trying to get back on track.
John, what's the difference with Nova now and when Nova struggled before being sent down?
I think it's all about fastball command with his 2-seamer. He's getting a lot of ground balls down in the zone with that pitch. But that curveball is so much better than it was the first time around, and we're not seeing as many mistakes. You look back to the first inning, Hosmer and Butler got 2 curveballs that were kind of hangers, and then the rest of the game they were all nasty. So I think he's tightened up his breaking ball, and the results are there.
There's a strike. So as John said, Jabba is well rested and pumps a 96-mile-an-hour fastball in there. Count 1-1.
Sometimes these innings are not the easiest for a reliever with a 7-run lead. Not a high-pressure situation, but Jabba needs to get himself back on track, have a good, clean inning here.
Slider is fouled back. Driven out to left field. Almonte drifts back, will make the play. Tomorrow afternoon, the Yankees and the Royals wrap up this 4-game series with a midweek matinee right here in the Bronx. Coverage starts at 12:30 with the Tri-State Ford pregame. It's only on Yes.
Nice Yankee win if Jabba Chamberlain can have a good clean inning here. Finally breaking out offensively, a couple of home runs. Robinson Canó, Lyle Overbay. I don't know which is the story of the game, Michael. The home runs and the 8 runs on the board, or Von Nova doing it again. Back-to-back starts has been outstanding.
Foul back.
Good fastball at 97 miles an hour from Jabba, but you watch the swing by Kane. Obviously, he's getting a good look at it. That's a big hack for a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Jabba doesn't have a whole lot of movement on the fastball. It's pretty straight. Makes location that much more important.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Lorenzo Cain. 97 foul back.
We watched Lorenzo Cain in this ballgame hit 2 rockets his first at bat. First at bats and had nothing to show for it, and a lot of good swings against Jabba. You're throwing 97 and you're seeing the ball like that and taking those big swings. It tells you there's not a whole lot of deception. Jabba Chamberlain and his delivery right now.
Now that gun only tells you so much, John. I mean, some 97 plays different than other 97.
Right now, the hitters are telling me they're seeing the ball really, really well off of Jabba Chamberlain. And sometimes it's something just where that front shoulder opens up just a little bit. You get a good look at the baseball coming out of his hand.
Line drive, left field. It falls in front of Almonte.
Lorenzo Cain earned that at bat. 2 line drives, his first 2 at bats, and was 0 for 2. And a good battle with Jabba Chamberlain, and he wins it with it sounded like a broken bat base hit to left field.
down 0-1 on Lowe. Lowe's 0 for 3. Hammered foul. Yankee offense, a 3-run home run by Robinson Canó, a grand slam by Overbay. And the other run scored on a wild pitch. Brett Gardner scooted home from third. First run came in the first inning. The 3-run home run by Canó in the third. The grand slam in the sixth. Fly ball into center field. Ichiro drifts over to make the play. And the Royals are down to their final out.
Like I said before, good night for the Yankees. Ivan Nova was outstanding. You break out offensively. Looks like they're going to take the third game in this series. You come back tomorrow afternoon looking for a split.
Patella spanks one into right center, but a nice running play by Ichiro, and that will do it as the Yankees snap their 3-game losing streak. In the ninth against Java, no runs a hit, 1 man left. A grand slam for Overbay, one of the big blows in the game, and Ichiro showing good speed, good closing speed, runs it down to end this one. Patella thought that he had an extra base hit, but not to be, as the Yankees win 8-1. Stick around for the postgame show to find out who's tonight's Chevy player of the game. We've got an award to give out. Of course we do. Then we'll wrap things up and get you all set for our postgame show with Bob Lorenz, Jack Curry, and Meredith Maragovitz. Yankees on the winning side. They win 8-1 here in the Bronx.